They spent time breaking down exactly why he threw the interceptions. Wasn't mechanics, bad reads, not enough study. Sometimes you just think about it way too much, and that leads you to the next one.
Time to refocus.
Watch it now, Barney!
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the gun, Watkins. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Jordan Jenkins coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
Looking to throw. Watkins. Throw left side, taken in by Galladay. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. They give him a gain of 38.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. For Johnson, the numbers for his performance from last week, 19 carries, 87 yards, and a touchdown.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that, but they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
He will push his way down to about the 14. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to throw. Watkins. And it's caught. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Watch it now, Barney.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Lions are going to take a 1st quarter lead. Now, this is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. That time, a 6-play drive. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Jets offense about set to take over as they head onto the field. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play caller. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action.
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on third down.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. And he was scored. Touchdown, Lions. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick six. And just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visit. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski. That's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. This Jets offense heading back out there now, led by Sam Darnold. And now, Charles, this becomes a pretty important second drive for them. They're already down a pair of scores here in the first quarter.
As you noted, they're down 2 scores, and to me, they're down a possession or a service break if this were tennis, right? Because they just gave one up. Only their second drive now. Run their offense, try and get back into the game that way, and then look for some help from their defense.
Try to forget about that pick six last time out. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Darnold on first down. He hits Herndon over the middle. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them.
All right, here we go.
Brings up a nice second down for them.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. So just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Set. 3-19.
Off of play action, Darnold. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different colored jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney. Detroit. Detroit.
On first down, Watkins. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
Hurry up. Here we go. Blue 90. Blue.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. 1 quarter down, but it's the Lions that have the early lead. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
Set. Green 39. Green 39. Over. Right there.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Watkins. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Hurry up. Here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Looking to throw. Watkins. And he comes back with one complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Over. Gun.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Johnson looking to impress early on with an eye toward more carries as the Lions come up 1st and 10.
Over. Hurry up. Here we go. 3-19.
Throwing on first down. Watkins. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
The hit comes late. We saw it. There's your flag.
And we know that there's a guideline, right? Ball's gone. You get one step. If you're within one step of the quarterback, you can hit him as long as it's still done legally. But anything outside of that, looks like an extra step was involved.
Back 99 Philly. Here we go. Watch it now, Barney. Under. Watch out.
It's Johnson, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Green 39! Green 39!
To throw on second down, Watkins. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete.
Love his pocket awareness, able to slip out of the sack. But once you take your eyes off the receivers, once your eyes come down and you see the rush, hard to get back downfield and find an open target. Fortunate, that one just wound up as an incomplete pass.
And this is going to be incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up fourth. And his kick is right there. It's good, and the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Sam Darnold leading the offense out for their next possession. He struggled. His team has struggled. You talked to me a lot about looking to your leaders. Maybe it's time for him to put his mark on this game.
Agreed. And how that has to happen is somehow he's got to flush out everything that's happened so far and almost start over and get back to that confident level and know that he can play the game, because so far this has been a real struggle.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got the interceptions, trying to turn it around.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
A first down throw, Darnold. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Set, 319. 319.
And they'll run it here. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
Here's Darnold. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jair Alexander. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out.
All right, here we go.
But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Forced out, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Jordan Jenkins in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Looking to throw on second down. Watkins and Callaway taking it in left side. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Unable to corral him, he fights through. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down. And they'll go ground game here to the tailback. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender.
Ooh.
To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come up to 6.
That's a lot of points. So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
On first and 10, Watkins. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Over.
To throw again, Watkins. That's complete over the middle to Callaway. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. The Lions on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
to throw. Watkins. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on third down.
Pass interference. Defense.
So instead of fourth down, first down.
Well, so much for winning the down you put a lot of emphasis on, because third down is key for offense and defense. Instead, you're going to stay on the field and start a new set of downs.
Green 39! Green 39! Gun!
On first down, Watkins. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. To throw on second down, Watkins. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. On third down, Johnson. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He hit his first, this one from 38. And his kick is indeed good. And that one ups the lead to 22-0. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. This Jets offense heading back out there now, led by Sam Darnold. The second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. So we've reached halftime here. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Touchdown, Detroit! In for the score. And the Lions are able to grow their lead.
And talk about taking words and bringing them to life. At halftime, I will guarantee you in their locker room, they talked about pressing the kicking game because you can get an advantage if you do it right, and they just did.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. So he takes it from 2 yards deep all the way down the field into the other end zone. Add it all up, a 102-yard return on the kickoff. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out.
3-19.
On first down, it's Darnold. That's caught right side by Anderson. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Now, Johnson. And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
A pickup of 5 that time and a first down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and take him to go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Watch you now, Barney. Barney.
Throwing again. Watkins. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Darren Lee coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Here we go now.
Here's Darnold now on 2nd down. That's complete over the middle to Anderson. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game. And a first down on that last catch as well.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Jair Alexander. There he goes left side. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a 4th quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
A try here for the extra point. Extra point splits the uprights, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Lions, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Jets,